Good afternoon. You are still here after such a long day. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your patience. You are tired? Heard a lot? I'm tired a bit as well. Long flight from Germany. But we will make it through the last presentation for today. Will we? Together? A few sleeping. Do we manage that for the last presentation of the day? Yes. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So, and I promise you, we're doing a very light menu and easy takeaway for you as the last thing of the day. So it's something that you put in your Fasecolda bag, take home, and can try tomorrow. You heard a lot today, great presentations about Insurtech Rising, things you should try, things you should change, something that you would try and innovate and go forward. And we show you a little bit what you really can do directly. And I'm talking about we. massUp is all about small insurances, pocket insurances. We deliver solutions for smartphone, electronics, pets, all these stuff people enjoy and love and buy more and more, and what they for sure insure as well. We do that already in 3 continents, and we are very happy, and that's why we took the opportunity to speak today here, that we can start in the Latin region now as well. So, it's a premiere. They're not waking up. It's a premiere. We are starting fresh in LATAM. We make it. But as a German, I would never dare to tell you which kind of insurance you need. So we have a trusted local partner without whom we couldn't do that. So please welcome on stage as well Sebastian Borda, Managing Partner of Exponential LATAM.
Buenas tardes para todos. Muchas gracias.
We are getting there. At the end of the presentation, they're all standing on the chair.
So it was a good start.
Perfect. So we're talking about a lot of stuff that the people, like said, buy, that's expensive, that's very valuable for them. Like this surfer guy, maybe it's a handcrafted board. They can cost up to $2,000. And there are over 20 million on the planet for this. Would he insure it for, let's say, $5 a month? Just his beloved thing where he rides the wave? Yeah, he probably would. Or we have the e-scooters. We saw them on the streets here as well. Big trend in the US, big trend in Europe. So for sure, you need an insurance for that. Or the even bigger ones, electronic bikes. In Germany, we sell over 3 million of that. In China, it's 30 million of these bikes. Valuable, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. High premiums, very good target group. Yes, for sure, these guys would insure it for, let's say, $10. So all this stuff is bought and a rising topic, and for sure even insurances that we very know from Europe, like pet insurance, is rising in more markets, like in Asia or here as well. And for sure, loving your pet and getting it insured, that is really priceless. You can name your price. So that's stuff that we all insure and where we see a rising development all over the planet. And there will be always new trends. Today it's e-scooters, tomorrow it's hoverboards or something else. And it's not a big topic in China and US where everybody looks at it. It's also a topic in your region. And Sebastian will tell you in detail about it.
Thank you, Fabian.
Well, let's analyze the reality of our region with some figures that probably for you are well known, but let's begin with a review of the region at the demographic level. In the last few years, we have experienced considerable developments in the region with a few crises here and there, but in general terms, the GDP, for instance, between 2007 and now doubled. People live longer, people are making more money. There is a conviction in Latin America that our generation has a better quality of life than our parents. There is a constant improvement of the standard of living. And we also have an average age of 30 years in the region. So we have a population that is more willing to be part of this digital world, of this digital lifestyle. In the United States, the average age is 38 years. In Europe, it's even older. So we have a market that is growing, developing, and evolving. So if we look at the indicators that probably you know better than me, In terms of the internet users in the region, it has grown incredibly from 300 million to almost 450 million having access to internet. And with mobile users, it's even greater, the explosion, and it continues to grow. This is very interesting information. IoT connections, devices that exchange information with other devices, the Internet of Things. In the region, we have almost 5 million devices, and this will grow exponentially in the next 5 years. Facebook users, well, Facebook, we can debate whether it is a fad or not, but this shows that there is a way to relate among consumers, and that way of relating has changed. If we take a look at the e-commerce figures in the region, what is happening? In 2015, we used to sell $30 billion online. Nowadays, it's 65, and this continues to grow. Over 1/3 of the online transactions are done from a mobile device. We have practically 1.5 billion opportunities to offer insurance or some type of coverage to the people that are transacting online. And let me ask you, how many of those opportunities of interacting with clients are we taking advantage of right now? In Colombia, for instance, this is a city with $5 billion at the level of e-commerce. In the case of Brazil, it's almost 60% of the transactions have to do with appliances. In the case of Colombia, it's very particular. 1 of every 7 people buy clothes online. So these are opportunities that we see nowadays at the level of the industry, and we believe that they are not being developed. Let's speak about the industry. Let's speak about insurance. Nowadays, the insurance market in the region is $600 million in the region, a huge concentration. The markets, almost 70% of the premium is focused in Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina. Colombia is on the 5th place, if I am not mistaken, and with a very similar distribution between life and general insurance. What's interesting about this, when we look at what MAPFRE says regarding the potential growth of the market, we are speaking about tripling the market. The gap that exists between the insurance that are hired in the region nowadays and the insurance that we can contract is almost threefold. So the big question we have to answer is, where are we going to grow? Where is the opportunity to grow in the region? How can we do it, and how can we take advantage of this growth potential? So what happens is that debates focus on 3 aspects, which were clearly defined by the regulator in the previous presentation. 3 aspects in which we are all focused, and it's very difficult for us to think outside the box. The insurance company, our focus is always to find the channel, and then to see which products of the channel and products that we have sold during the last 30 years fit with that channel. And the third thing is technology. How can we sell? So this is the dynamics we have been following for many, many years, and it is very difficult to go outside the box. When we speak about products, we speak about innovation. The truth is that the number of innovative products in the Latin American market in the last few years is very low. We saw that today the number of Insurtechs in the region is very small. And the fact of being able to grow means breaking away from these dynamics and leaving aside the self-limitations we impose on us in terms of technology. I liked very much to listen to the regulators speaking about innovating, speaking about breaking paradigms and changing the mindset. We think that this is the real potential to grow in the region and develop markets. And this is something that Fabian will discuss further in more detail. Now, what's the meaning of all of these specifically? Which is the approach we think is the right approach so that we as an industry can grow in the region. First, inclusivity, being inclusive. In the different countries of the region, the offer of insurance is concentrated in 10-15% of the population with the highest income. There is very little below that level. And what we have is not very relevant, because that basically what we do is to change the existing products that are focused to a specific segment. We try to change them in order to sell them more massively. But the truth is that that is not related to the reality of the low-income sectors. So this necessarily requires changing our approach so that the products that we can offer to them are relevant. And this has to do with understanding what is going on with the consumers, which are the opportunities existing today in the various interactions and relations with the consumers, be it through the media, the social media, the electronic or the digital media. So how can the consumer get a relevant offer that is always accessible? Everything that has to do with the millennials, they won't come to buy insurance. We have to go where they are. We have to provide them an offer that will be part of their digital lifestyle. And the offer necessarily has to be simple. What does this mean? Well, for many years, the trend was to add up coverages to create more comprehensive products. The response of the market was to create more powerful coverages, but I think that the trend is totally the opposite, to do the unbundling of products, to have coverages that are very simple, that can be bought without thinking too much about it, as an integral part of the contact points that nowadays the consumer has at the digital level. So we see the reality, and as companies, we continue to be trapped in this question of technology. What do we think is fundamental to promote change and to adopt a consumer-focused dynamics to develop the existing potential of the markets in the region? First, we speak about product innovation. We cannot think about digital transformation or digital channels to sell the same products we have been selling for the last 30 years. So what happens when we speak about innovating? We have the innovation initiative to the technical area, and they say, no, we don't have the technical foundations, and that's outside the guidelines, and that's the end of the innovation process. So the first invitation is to innovate, to take risks, and to generate coverages that are different from what we are offering now as an insurer industry, that have to do not with the risks that we have always covered, but with the needs of the consumers nowadays in this digital context, that have nothing to do with what they were 30 years ago and involve new opportunities and new risks. The second item is ecosystems. I won't dwell on that because I think that a lot has been said about it during the day. But the key message is that nowadays, everything related to the growth of the industry has a lot to do with ecosystems, with integrating with Insurtech, to assume that technology is no longer a barrier. Today, the barrier at the industry level has to do more with paradigms and mindsets that we have to change. The technology is there. It's already available. It's very easy to acquire, to hire, to use technology that allows us to change the market approach. And the third point is data, the value of information as a strategic value of the company. In the cases we see in the region, what happens is that we don't even speak about automation. Automation it's a given. Nowadays, we generate data, and on that basis, we create different platforms so that the client can move around freely over those platforms with a series of services or self-services and automated decisions. decisions based on the information that we generate over time. And the last point, which is important to mention, is many times when we find clients in the region and we see the possibility of generating a new product, that takes around 6 to 8 months while you develop the product, make it part of the system, etc. So what happens in this case? Well, that we work very hard to be successful because it's very expensive to fail. So what we suggest is that definitely the fact that you fail should be part of the process. We should make mistakes very quickly. If that's the case, let's move on to the next product, not in 8 months, but in 2 weeks. If you have to change the product you launched into the market, that change must be done in real time using data. And when we see that there is a fit between the product and the market segment to be able to escalate quickly. So this requires a combination of all these elements that go together: the ability to innovate, the ability to move around in the ecosystem. And this is a conversation that takes a long time with the insurance company because they still assume that digital transformation means changing a core system, and that's not the case. So with all of these elements, we think it is possible to implement or to have a market approach so that we can change the paradigms of the industry to make use of our huge growth potential in the region, which we are neglecting, so that we can offer relevant products to new segments of clients on a timely basis and with really very low operating costs.
This is what we wanted to tell you as by way of introduction, and I will let Fabian continue with the approach of massUp regarding this issue.
So after we have seen that we're in a relevant market and our products like that can often work as an entrance product, as an add-on, as a try with a new target group, new modern customers. And for sure, I promise to take away, so we show a bit how we could do that and how we can help with that. So in general, we start that we, with our solution, are able to digitize existing processes. We talked a lot about this in this year. We'll don't go into deep by that, but that's the first step where we can make help and processes more efficient. The other part is that we can digitize existing product suites. So your existing products can be sold with our solution, and even that can be more efficient and more cost relevant. But the main point is that we deliver ready-made products. So ready-made for modern customers, new kind of products, more innovative approach, built to buy on the go, mobile, and every place wherever in channel you are selling your products and these kind of products. So and that's where we can deliver a complete solution. We call ourselves a digital MGA. We start by product designing. We offer them as a white label, including 100% risk, so with own risk capacity, and then deliver as well the technical solution that you plug them into your channels without own IT efforts. And if you want, we can do in behind all services, payment, policy issuance, including even a claim solution built in our solution. So we speak from a 360-degree complete solution where you can concentrate on sales to your customers and maybe try new approaches with your target groups. Based on our experience in Europe and based on what we hear from clients, what they want and what their customers want, we offer already a suite of ready-made products. So yes, everybody's talking about smartphone, it's still a big market, but electronics is great. Pets is in certain markets great, so we are starting in Asia with that. There's a big growing market, we see that here as well. But we offer as well a lot of object insurances for niche markets like sports equipment or even musical instruments, or a good field is as well household appliances. So there are all fields where we, with much easier made products and much more flexibility, can maybe reach new targets group where you can try new ways. I give you one example because it's not about technology, it's mainly about the flexibility of a product. We have an object insurance, we call it internally protected item, where you can insure all kind of goods. And maybe you want to sell it on your own website as a standard one-year product with all the kind of damages, categories for all, and you offer them as a standard product. Fine. But you maybe have a partner where you say, here's in a sporting field, we want to just offer a certain category. And maybe we change conditions. We take out accidental loss and make the product a bit cheaper. And maybe we are offering that as well as a short-term product. So for a certain channel, in behind the same product, the same technical installment, but in another channel you can sell it on another way. Or you do it in e-commerce, where you can plug in for sure as well. And there the partner says, I want to have a product that the customer can cancel every month. So something where the experience is quite low still, but what we could offer was based on the same product. So a lot of flexibility from one first installment. Retail as well, for sure, or even as well compulsory. So with every new account, every customer you're coming on board, you may be offering as a short-term product and later on do an upsell with a complete product. Just an idea giving on how flexible you can work with these products in different channels. For sure, you can sell them everywhere. The massUp plug shows even in retail shops it works, yes. I don't know if the QR code here is still an option, but it's an older option, but it would work. But yes, for sure, it can be your website, it can be online shops, it can be in retail, even cash machines, it can be social channels, it can be offline campaigns. Mobile is a big topic like we saw. So all channels can be used, and it's not an extra technical work, or it's not a new product. We once set it up and you use it in all channels, can track them by ID, can use it for all kinds of partners. So it's a very easy tryout with starting maybe new products in target groups. We are always in behind you. It will never be massUp. It's always in the brand of our clients, like we see some Europeans. So green, blue, red, pink, we don't care. It will always be seamlessly integrated in your channels. Meanwhile, we are coming around the planet a bit. So Asia and US is for us important markets. But like I said, we are made a really big one here now. So so we hope here is a big growing market. And for sure, we speak all languages. So German, what never understands, nobody understands than me. English, Japanese, Chinese, yeah. And they stopped me to do a Spanish demo. We can do that downstairs, and you buy insurances directly with that. But for sure, we speak Spanish as well, or Portuguese, or version stuff. And I heard there's a lot of Spanish different codes, so it's all fine. We can all build that. So it's a very easy. Most of our products are just value-based, so the customer has not to think. He just has a value of 1,000 euros, insures, and buys it with one click. So integrate personal data. We have a payment solution integrated, and send in real time the policy. And we deliver the data to you, or you use our contract management system and can have a complete solution around this. That's, in very fast and 7 minutes earlier, in a nutshell, what you can take away directly. And if you want to use it, just talk to us later or at dinner tonight. See you on some cocktails. Thanks.
Gracias.